New York Post, 30th of September 2022, to spy on Chinese citizens and anyone who oppose Communist China. China has constructed police stations in the US and Canada. China has opened hundreds of overseas police service stations worldwide, including one in New York City and 3 in Toronto, to spy on its nationals and those who criticize China while living abroad. In a report earlier this month, the human rights organization Safeguard Defenders stated that these operations eschew official bilateral police and judicial cooperation, violate the international rule of law, and violate the territorial integrity in third countries involved in setting up a parallel policing mechanism using illegal methods. The report 110 Overseas, Illegal Chinese Transnational Policing Gone Wild describes China's extensive attempts to combat fraud by its citizens residing abroad, including the opening of numerous police stations on 5 continents that have helped Chinese authorities carry out policing operations on foreign soil. However, it was simply a cover for China, whose primary objective in establishing these police stations was to spy on other nations. Most police stations in Europe are located in cities including London, Amsterdam, Prague, Budapest, Athens, Paris, Madrid, and Frankfurt. 4 stations are also located in North America, with 3 in Toronto and 1 in New York City. There are 54 such stations altogether spread throughout 30 different nations. According to a recent allegation, China has overseas police stations in Canada and New York City that allegedly spy on the government and Chinese nationals living abroad. According to the report, China has made little to no effort to combat the growing issue of fraud and telecommunication fraud by Chinese nationals living abroad, conducting operations that over the past year have led to 230,000 Chinese nationals being persuaded to return to China voluntarily to face criminal prosecution. Even though the study points out that many of the services are ones that a foreign embassy typically handles, the Chinese government has argued that the stations offer essential services to its residents who live abroad. Instead, the report contends that the stations have been utilized against international law to strengthen China's capacity for law enforcement abroad. The report also details the station's human rights violations, including harassing and coercion tactics such as threatening foreign nationals' families and opponents of the Chinese Communist regime. The stations have also been used as hubs for disseminating propaganda by the Chinese government, keeping an eye on how Chinese and other citizens behave and think, and spying on the United States.